Hello, you guys. How is everybody doing? I ain't gonna cook nothing because I don't want nothing. What did I have today? Oh, I ate kind of late today. I kind of waited until I was finished being out. I was out in the field after I finished doing what I needed to do as far as my cases. And then I stopped at Panera's. Yeah, Panera's. And it was really, I got a southwestern spicy turkey sandwich. It was really good. What's up, Diane? Thank God it's Friday. Praise the Lord. Hey, Miss Shan. It's Happy Friday. Happy Friday. So, yeah, that's what that is. I know. I'm so glad it's Friday. I have my grandbaby tomorrow, though. She's gonna go to church with me. We're going to church, and then we're gonna go to Sam's and get her some those high C juices. I'm gonna get enough because I normally get the cases. I'm gonna get enough for. Hey, Stanley. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thanks for asking. Hey, Shan, the Black Barbie. Shan and the Black Barbie. I need for you all to, if you don't mind, if text me your PO boxes. If you don't want me to have your address, you don't have to give it to me. If you got a PO box, send it to me so that I can. Tomorrow will be a great day to get some of that stuff out. So we'll go to the doggy park, to church, and then I'll go get her some high C juices so she could take to daycare. Like she could take one for lunch, and then she could drink one when she come home. It'd be 40 in a box. And I'm gonna tell you something, her little child, I got her 3 boxes. I think I'll get her 2 boxes. And I'll get the ones with the half sugar in it. Because those punches it's Kool-Aid. Okay. It's Kool-Aid. And yeah. I don't want her to. It tastes, listen, I got the ones that say Kool-Aid. And it tastes just like that Kool-Aid that we used to make in the jug. Y'all know we used to make make our own, get those Kool-Aid packages. I cannot find Kool-Aid packages nowhere. I be wanting to see them. I want to look for them so I can make my own Kool-Aid. We used to put all that sugar in the Kool-Aid. Never had any diabetes, nothing like that. Like we would fill the pitcher up with sugar. It'd be halfway full. We ain't have no sugar attacks, nothing. That's why I know it's something that they're putting in the sugar now to take your glucose and all of that stuff up. Y'all know how they do it. But my little grandbaby is worrisome. She is worrisome. Ooh, do I want to keep her tomorrow? Let's see. I kept her last weekend. Maybe I should miss a weekend and then keep her every other weekend, child, because I was so tired after that girl left. I was tired. Because she want to go to the doggy park and walk the dogs. She want to do this. She want to look at movies. She want to do that. And then she would wake up and sit straight up. You can't sleep with kids awoke. I don't know. I was thinking about doing something else tonight. I had said that I was going to do that. Maybe I will. I don't know. I got to think about it. Ooh. I'm yawning, child. I ain't getting ready to do nothing. I ain't going nowhere. I tell you. Sit sit down somewhere before I do something to you. Anyways, you guys, other than that, what is going on? I was looking at they're sending more troops into the Memphis area. They said that they're going to deploy more National Guard people, soldiers into the Memphis area. I thought that they had kind of started thinning them out, especially the state troopers, because I don't see a whole lot of state troopers like I used to. But they said they'd be out there. I think they probably send them on certain days. Who knows? Yeah, they probably send them on certain days. I don't know. Child. You just sent it. Okay, thank you. Yeah. Um, I think that I think that we got to be careful because this is like pneumonia's weather. Because it's going into the winter time. It might already be the winter. Is it winter time yet, or is winter? Does winter come at the end of the butt? And the weather is like in the 70s. So I was basically getting on so we could just talk. I didn't really have anything specific. It's just whatever we talk about, that's, whatever it is that we talk about, that's what it is. We could discuss, that's what it is. I guess it's just freestyle Friday. Mm-hmm. Get down. Oh, Cardi B welcomed her fourth child with NFL star Stephon Diggs. So she had Stephon Diggs' first son. Diggs got a lot of kids, and I guess all of them are girls. And so she wrote, "My life has always been a combination of different chapters and different seasons. My last chapter was the beginning of a new season. Starting over is never easy, but it's been so worth it." I brought new music and a new album to the world, a new baby into my world, and one more reason to be the best version of me, one more reason to love me more than anything else or anyone else, so I can continue giving my babies the love and life they deserve. The next chapter is me versus me. It's me against all odds, me against everything meant to get in the way. I've started prepping for a tour, getting my body right, getting my mind right. There's nothing that's going to stop me from giving you guys the performance of a lifetime. I've learned, I've healed, and I'm loving the woman I've become. That's what this next era means to me. And I'm stepping into it better than ever. I wish that sister the best. I do. I wish her the best. Black Barbara said, "No one cares." Oh my God. I do. I wish her the best. I wish her, that's her. Yeah, I wish her the best. I tell you, she got to do her thing. I was talking to a young lady today, and I always, when I see their bellies and stuff, I always ask them, "How far along are you?" She said, "I'm due in December." I said, "Okay, what is it?" She said, "A boy." I said, "Good for you." I said, "Is this your first?" She looked down. "No, it's my fifth." I said, "Well, you ain't got nothing to look down about. That's good." I said, "Children are a blessing." When she looked down, I already knew people probably had told her, "You young and need to stop having all those babies, child." I wasn't there to make her feel worse. I said, "Well, children are a blessing." After she allegedly, get down. Hey, Dot again. This is after she allegedly put in Molly's and these guys. That's what Tasha K say. That's what Tasha K says. So I tell you, I tell you. I bought my little grandbaby for Christmas. I bought her some Mickey Mouse combat boots, and they are so Minnie Mouse combat boots. They're so cute. Ah, she got them today. I got that girl so much stuff. I'm not buying her anything else. After I buy her that Barbie dress, I'm getting her a Barbie dress with Barbie all over the tutu and printed all in the tutu. And that's the last thing I'm going to get her. Because she got Minnie Mouse everything and Barbie. Yep. I hope these holidays bring, I hope the holidays bring nothing but joy to people. I know around these times, too, stop. Around these times, it could be really hard for people because they're reminded of the loved ones, that have gone on to be with the Lord. And it could be extremely hard for them. Like, from my grandmother loved Thanksgiving and Christmas. And y'all not gonna believe this, but like up until my grandmother passed away in 2011, my grandmother and I, since I was a little girl, all the Christmas stuff that used to come on, we used to be so happy because we would lay in the floor and look at Charlie Brown Christmas, A Christmas Story, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Oh my God. All the way up until like when I was an adult. When those movies and stuff started coming out, me and the girls started going over there spending the night with my grandma and stuff so we could look at all the Christmas movies. And so my grandma loved to cook, and it was just her favorite part of the season. Like she would change like her decorations according to the seasons and stuff. Because my grandma used to love to go to yard sales, and she found a lot of nice stuff at yard sales. So she used to love to like change the colors and stuff of the seasons. Hey, Rob. And so, I mean, she just loved it. And so I think about my grandmother a lot. Now, my dad didn't really celebrate Christmas. He felt like that was just a way for them to keep Black people in a deficit. Christmas, it was like, that's just a way for them to keep us Black people in a deficit. Don't buy me nothing for Christmas. So, what's up to Alabama here? Hey, Miss Kawana. So, yeah, but my grandmother loved. I remember one Christmas, we was living in Clementine. Every doll I had written out, I would write out my list every year, and every doll that I asked for, I got. My mother and my grandmother together got me 13 dolls, a total of 13, because I got my pretty girl, And I went and looked Pretty Curl up. She is on eBay and she like 60 something dollars. I learned how to comb hair doing Pretty Curl hair because I used to put her barrettes and stuff all on my hair, on her hair. And I got all of my Barbies and I was so happy because they only had a limited growing up edition of black Barbies. So people would go and buy the black Barbies out really quick. So it was very rare to be able to get a black doll because they didn't have that many out. And so I got my black Barbies. And I remember my grandmother, because my mama. So like around Christmas, like everybody, all the kids in the projects, we would, after we opened up everything and excitement of it, we'd come outside or we'd start going to our friends' houses and showing what we got. So I remember my mama put all of my dolls in a garbage bag. And then I went to my friend Sean's house to show her all of my 13 dolls and us playing with them. I think I got a doll's house that Christmas too. I got a Barbie. I think I got the Malibu Barbie doll house. My dad always bought me a bike. Yep, they all done. Um, and my dad bought me a bike every year. That's what he bought, the bikes. He bought bikes, the 10 speeds and stuff. Cause I be thinking about that because then it went from 10 speed to 12 speed. And now those bikes are like $7, $8, $900. Like, wow. I was like, I wish I had kept my 12 speed and 10 speed and stuff. Like we learned how to do things on our own over there. I used to know how to change a tire. Of Like we had those bikes, we would get glass because it's glass all in the projects from drinking and throwing bottles. And we used to go to Mr. Tate's Castle, and we get patches for our bikes. And I used to know how to patch up a tire, but I don't know how to do it no more. I haven't done it in so long. Yeah, it's a damn shame. I don't want to do it either. Any type of labor, I'd be liking to see men do labor. Yeah, I remember I had a Jam doll. I think Jam was a Barbie doll. I had the Barbie and the Rockers. Barbie and the Rockers. Y'all remember that? I know I ain't the only old person in here. Barbie and the Rockers. I think that's how they when I got all of them. Everybody wants to come over to my house. Like, you got all the Barbie and the Rockers. I was like, yes, I got all the Barbie and the Rockers. They would steal my Barbie doll shoes and stuff. Cause my mama will buy me some Barbie doll clothes. And they'll steal my Barbie doll heels and shit. Oh my God. I forgot that Barbie and the Rockers used to be a cartoon. That's why I had all of them. And she was my favorite. And don't you know, even though it's Barbie and the Rockers, they were all sold separately. They had a limited edition. It took me forever, my mom forever, to be able to get me her. Because they didn't put as many black dolls out. And when I got her, I was so happy. I think they had a song, Barbie and the Rockers. The music feels good. So happy you're here. We love the sound when you cheer. So come on, sing along. Everybody rock, who's got it? Everybody rock, everybody rock, everybody rock, who's got it? We got it, we got it. Everybody rock. Oh wow. I know they had a song like that because I can hear it in my head. Cause we're Barbie and the Rockers. Ah, I guess they had a cartoon too. I had all the Barbie and the Rockers. I had Jam. I think her name was Jam. Yes. I oh my God.
Paars, roze of blauw, wat trek je aan? Er is altijd iets voor jou. Jen en Glen Barbie. Draai het haar van de
Oh my God. Don't y'all know they don't promote Barbie dolls anymore because they don't want to promote little girls being little girls. I played with Barbie dolls until I was 13. I played with dolls until I was 13 years old. So then, I mean, and that was a good thing because at 13 years old, you're still a baby. You know, you're still a baby at 13. But unfortunately, and it's been happening for a long time. You know, I think about when they talk about how women were getting married, you know, as if that was a good thing back in the day at 13, 14 years old. I'm pretty sure that that caused a lot of mental anguish because that's still a child taking on an adult responsibility, and oftentimes the man was old. Okay, so she got to deal with, she knows nothing about intimacy and nothing about sex. She got to satisfy his old gross ass, and she's having a lot of babies and taking on the responsibility. So oh my God. I be thinking about my childhood. I don't care if I did grow up in the projects until I was 13. I grew up in the projects until I was 13. And I got my first I started talking to boys. Um like I think I got my real boyfriend when I was like 16, when I was 16. And it's something because peer pressure is something else. Like I think I used to think about how I felt like being 16, like being in 11th grade and stuff. And all the girls was talking about their boyfriends and they was doing the do. And then they was like, hey, Royal D. And they was like, Tamara, have you ever did anything? You know, this was said, no, Tamara, you ain't never did nothing. No, I never did nothing. That's so weird. And I think because of that, like I was looked at as being weird. Like, girl, you ain't never did nothing. Oh my God. And it's something like 16, 15, 16, 17-year-old girls talking like that, looking at me like I'm a freak because I never did anything. So um going 17 I did. Okay, and I hated it. Says nah, different is dope. Yeah, because I think the kids was selling like drugs and smoking. I guess they called it I think they called it that's true, Tony P. Ran through ain't what's up. Me personally, I really don't know how people can allow different spirits to, even if it's a man, like it's a turn off to me if a man has been with a lot of different women. That's why I asked men when I started talking to them, I start to like them. How many women have you been with? When they get to talking about, you know, I was a bad mama jamma or whatever they call them. Man, I was this and this and that in my back in my day. You know, I just, you know, okay. I'm like, I don't want you because I don't want nobody. Everybody done had and can have. To me, Nasty. Can you get to when these folks get to these men get to bragging about they've been with 100, almost 100 women. The first thing I think about, he didn't have his face up in 100 asses. I don't want him. Mm-mm. Because they do the same thing to everybody. And let's be honest. What I'm gonna do with him? But send him on back. I don't want him. So that's a turn off to me. And I don't want nobody inexperienced though. So I don't want nobody inexperienced. I ain't gonna tell no stories. Miss T, you're in Memphis. You may as well not even try to date. Those dudes sleep with. I'm okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna date nobody else in Memphis. But I tried to date outside of Memphis. Y'all see what happened? I tried to date outside of Memphis, and y'all see what happened. I was like, shoot, I just ain't gonna date nobody. I just want to be left alone. That 2 years of celibacy, I could have just a waste of my time. I would love to have that back. Okay. I'm serious. I tried to date outside of Memphis. Cause I'm gonna tell you something. These Memphis dudes to make you give them a strong a jaw on. I can't tell you how often these they be trying to say that the Memphis women are crazy. That's not true. The Memphis dudes will make you hit them in the jaw real hard. I'm serious. Swing on them. You have to be careful too, cause they'll call the police on you. The men calling the police on the women more than the women call the police on the men. Child, please. I don't want nobody like that. We couldn't afford those. We had the toys that people for real. Oh wow. Oh wow. I remember like when I got an Nintendo when the first Nintendos first came out, like it would be in there in the front, like on the kitchen table in the projects now. And y'all know Super Mario Brothers. So when people would come in, like play the game, all of that, the kids whose mothers and stuff couldn't afford it. I've always shared. I think that's why I'm like I am now. As I get older, I realize that I can't because it's like second nature to me to like want to help people, to want to share because I've always like even when we was poor, I didn't know that. I grew up in an era where we shared, you know. Um and I was always taught you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You don't ever snipe at the hand that tries to help you. Now people will you'll stick your hand out to give them a hand up, and then they'll as soon as you help them, to get like a foothold, they'll turn around and give you their ass to kiss in the next second. You just helped me up, bitch, and I kiss my ass. I mean, unfortunately, and then the mindset you have to be careful to like people come from different walks of life. Like me, can't nobody use me. Okay. I do things, I'm very strong willed or whatever. So if I do something, you didn't trick me out of it. It was just that I mean, bitch, I felt like it was pitiful. And I mean, maybe I felt like it was pitiful. Maybe I mean, that's just how I am. Like I see people standing on the corner and I always like folks go, well, you know, those people full of games, maybe they are full of games, or maybe, they're hungry. Maybe they're hungry. Um, but what I see is like in the black community, we always see others that are panhandling. And I see, and I kid you not, and in the Whitehaven area, every time I'm going down to Whitehaven to see my mama or something like that, I see people that are panhandling, and they don't look like us. They're of other races. So, especially right there at Elvis Presley and Brooks. Okay, I'll give them something. If that light is red, I'm gonna roll my window down and give them something. But what I notice is when it's a black person that's standing out there panhandling, the black people is not going to give them any money. If it's a white person, the black people are going to be rolling down their windows and giving money. If it's a black person, they're not going to do it. I don't know what it is about us that we just hate each other. And I think a lot of us are so messed up. Like, yeah, yeah, she helped me. Yeah, yeah, I got over. Bitch, that's the reason why you ain't got shit now. Okay? That's the reason why a lot of these people, hey, Cinderoni, a lot of people don't have anything now because they always think they finessing somebody. You just finesse yourself out of having a good person, a good energy around you. See, I'm the type of person, if I see somebody has a very good energy, I gravitate to them. Like, let's just say, for instance, like Alabama Hitter, Diane, um, Cypress, people like that. If they call me, I could talk to. There's some people that I can't talk to on the phone because their energy be jumping. It be something about them that I can't talk to them. I be constantly. It makes me real uneasy to talk to them. Steven, cool person to talk to. You'll know, okay? Because I don't talk to very many people, okay? Um, but if my energy feels at ease, I could talk to those people. And there's more people, Joy Loves God, people that I've talked to on the phone. Okay. Um, and then there are those people that, I think God gives us, like, our senses always tell us when something is off, that we have that uneasy energy. I cannot even be around people like that. You know, um, what I do is I isolate myself quite a bit anyways, because people will prejudge you because you want more out of life. Okay. They are mad because they chose a man and they went and tried a, a crack rock. Okay. So they'll look at other people who want something. Like, I strive, like, I'm so happy now that I'm back in school. I'm more focused than I've ever been. I'm about to get my law degree, and and it just makes me happy. But then you have people that look at me and she thinks she's Simon. She ain't none because she came out of Clementine. And I loved every bit of it. I be loving it when I have cases around that area, even though they've torn down the projects and stuff. I just be loving it because those are the streets that I walk. Those are the areas that I grew up in. That is where I come from. And it makes me so happy to think about, this is where I came from. Okay. From a teenage mother, um, who had teenage parents. Okay. My dad had such a determination because my dad really grew up in North Memphis, and a teenage mother who you know was just supportive of everything that I did. And hey, I grew up in the projects, but I'm not of the projects, right? And so I cherish those memories and growing up around the people that I grew up around. Okay. I love that. I think that's what kept me grounded, because even when we moved from out of Clementine to Whitehaven, and it was like we just went from the hood to Hollywood overnight. And it kept me grounded because I always would sit at the table, like, because you had a lot of little snobby girls, right? And especially when I became majorette, it's like, no, we don't deal with them. Like, no, I'm gonna sit over here with Tina and them. I'm gonna sit over here with them. I always like to. I was grounded because I had just came from the projects, so I was able to, like, communicate and have conversations and stuff with the unpopular kids or whatever that they talked about, because I'm sure with us coming from the projects being loud, and I think that's why I got so quiet, because I was loud too. But when I went into a different environment, I don't know, I just became really quiet, and I was able to observe the snootiness. I'm like, dog, I just came out the damn projects where we saw rats and shit running all over across the damn yard. So how can I have my nose turned up at at kids that are unpopular just because I'm a majorette or whatever? So I'm happy that it kept me grounded. And I think growing up there and seeing how it was so family orientated and how we all helped each other. That's why I have that giving spirit now. That's why it's sad to me when I see people and they think that they're getting over. And that's that spirit in Memphis. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but I think that's why a lot of these motherfuckers in Memphis ain't got shit. Okay, when they, yo, I'm a pimp, bitch, you broke hoe. You ain't no pimp, you pathetic. That's what you is. You ain't no pimp, you pathetic. Okay, instead of when somebody help you, go, dog, I appreciate that. I ain't gonna forget, because when people help me, I don't forget. Okay, especially if they help me for the right reasons, dog, I don't forget about that. Like, I'm gonna remember you. I'm gonna remember you. I promise you, I'm gonna remember you. And I think that is what has gotten me. I think I've lost more blood trying to help people. Okay, because each and every time I've tried to reach back and help people that look like me, they've cut me. So I've lost more blood trying to help ungrateful motherfuckers because they come from garbage. Ain't used to nothing. Okay? Because let me tell you something. I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I'm a good person to have on your team, bitch, because I'm a winner. I wins. Okay? I'm a rider. But if you fuck over me, I'm through with you. And that's between me and God. I don't forgive. I don't forgive. Okay? That's something between me and God. I don't forgive, though. That's because I do everything genuinely. I don't help people. I don't want them to say, hey, she did this. No, because a lot of times I'll say, do this quietly. Okay, I'm gonna do this. We're just gonna keep it quiet though. But people in Memphis got that messed up mentality, and I love my city, and I love the people in the city. You cannot live in a city and not have, even if you don't know everybody, like a love, some type of love for the people. Because I can go anywhere and know the dialect. Like I was in New Orleans, and I remember right before the last time I was in New Orleans, I was like, dog, I lost my charger. And before I leave, I need to run up here to the Walgreens, and I can get me a charger before I hit that train. So I can charge my phone up. And when I walked in there, I had not even paid attention. And I was at the cash register, and the guy was like, "Are you from around here?" I said, "Uh-uh." He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "Memphis." He said, "I'm from Memphis. I could tell how you talk when you started talking." I was like, I recognized that accent. So you have a love for the people from your area, but the folks in my city, unfortunately, we gotta. Everybody is not like that. Trust me, everybody is not like that. The thing that kind of makes me happy now is that I'm starting to see that I am starting to see that people kind of want to change. People are wanting better, wanting a change, and understanding that if you want something, you cannot wait for somebody else to give it to you or expect for people to give you everything or half of I think the mindset has been in the past, okay, well, this person has worked hard. They plate full. How come they can't give me half? You want somebody to give you half off of their plate while they worked. They got blood, sweat, and they put blood, sweat, and tears into what they built. And your ass got slob and eye boogers and shit because you've been sleeping, ain't here to lick at a damn snake. And because you feel like their plate is overflowed, they could give me half. And if they don't give me half, I'm gonna kill them. Okay. That mindset. Don't get me started because y'all know how I am. Lord, take that away from me because y'all was ready to go in, okay? It's good to see that you can be yourself no matter where you come. Right. You can be yourself. Like, I don't never try to be something I'm not. Shit. We all got flaws. I think I've been an open book. I've said things on here that ain't even nobody's damn business. Because when you start getting into my personal life, now you're trying to violate me. That ain't your business. Okay? I don't slum around trying to figure out what people got going on in their life, who they sleeping with or whatever. Okay? I ain't no stalker like that. Now, I used to do that when I was getting paid. Do you know how much they was paying me? Shit, I sat outside of hotel rooms when I was doing private work and waited for people's husbands to come out. Okay. But do you know how much they paid me to sit out there all night? You'd have did it too. Okay. But that's about it. If it wasn't, I mean, I don't want to know. Other than that, I don't want to know. Because after I closed the case out, I forgot about it. Okay. I agree, Cinderoni. That's right, Nene Loyal. Says I tried to be something that I'm not. I swear that I try so very hard to be. I mean, I'm real. I'm a nice person, but I kind of steer clear of a lot of people now because the psyche of a person now is so twisted. They try and size people up. See, they're not gonna get up and go to work or try to build nothing. Okay. Do you know how much time it take to be sitting around trying to size people up to try to see if you can hustle them when you could have got your ass out and built two, three empires on your own? Okay, so people sit around and try to see who's nice, okay, so that they can see if they can get over on them. Instead of saying when I see good people, I go, dog, that's a good person. Like I'm definitely wanting to try to see if I can get close to them because they have a really good energy. I like being up under good energy because I have a good energy. Like I try and build everybody that is around me. I try and build them up. And so, even with my friend, the few friends I got to go, such and such, you think girl, yes, yes, do it. Okay. And then I'm riding with my friends, I rise with them. Even if I don't agree with them, you're not going to hear me say it on here. That's the type of person that I am because I don't really care what other people think. So when people say, well, your friend was wrong, I knew you was going to ride with him. I go, yeah, I'm glad you knew. Okay, I don't let people put pressure on me like that to be disloyal. I'm glad you knew, because I wouldn't have it no other way. I'm riding. Well, they was wrong. Oh, okay. Well, you're gonna have to get over it, ain't it? Because all people want to do is cause division all the time. They're miserable. They want to put pressure on you. I don't let people put pressure on me. I get up and leave. Okay, I'll get up and leave. That's why I don't stay places long. I told my mama, I don't know what it is about me. If people zone in on me, if I'm out somewhere, they coming straight to me. I can look in their eyes. Miserable ass women. I don't like women that are male identified. They don't like other women because they're jealous of them. Okay. They want to, such and such, and this and that. Let's go. Whoever I came with, that's why I always drive when I do go somewhere. Y'all ready? It's getting too low vibration to leave this bitch here talking to herself. Ho. Now you talking to yourself. Your words mean nothing. Okay, you was nothing what I got here, and I ain't get ready to give you no shine. You get ready to be nothing again because I'm getting ready to get up and leave. Now you're talking to yourself. Okay, and then whoever it was that I was there for, I let them know I'll support you. Okay, I'm gonna support you, but you need to have your people in check, else I can't come back around you either. Okay. I don't like being around those energies because when you're around certain women that's got stuff going on, they're not going to do that. They are not going to do it. You could tell when you're around a bunch of rats. Okay? Be sitting and lurking and peeking at you on social media. I'm going to tell a piece of my mind. Girl, you better die. I'm gone. I'm gone. You got it. I'm gone. Um, as women, we sure got to do better. We sure got to do better. Yes, it is the Black Barbie. I'm telling you. We sure got to do better. It ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna be disliking somebody or trying to go at somebody just because I'm jealous of them. You ain't got no business disliking somebody you don't know. You got to be mentally ill. A sure sign that you are mentally unstable is if you're going at a person and disliking a person and doing all you can to try and tear down a person that you never had a conversation with, you don't know, and that's never done anything to you. That's definitely a sign that something is wrong. Okay. Yeah, they still assigning me cases and I'm off. Normally, let me tell y'all something. Normally, I don't get assigned cases after I get off. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. They've been assigning me cases. Um, when I get off. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see what this is. Mm, child. Um, let me see. I can't even open it. Um, let's see. Let's see what this is. Okay. Okay. I got it. Well, let me see what let's do. On what's up, Cypress? What up, the Cyp dog? What's that word? Yeah, I've been buying my grandbaby clothes for when she 5 years old. She 3, and the clothes are so cute. I've been buying them for when she 5, so she can have them for a long time because she is tall. You just chilling on a Friday? Yeah, it's chill. That's what I'm doing. It's chill wheel Friday. It's chill wheel Friday. I'm ready to show y'all something. Oh, let me show y'all something. Y'all, she is going to look so freaking cute. Oh my God. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. I had to show this. I'm going to make sure she take pictures in this dress. I just love it. She going to look so cute. I'm going to make sure they show my address. Ooh. Okay, it ain't showing my address. Hold on. Oh my God. Y'all look. Y'all, oh my God. Oh my God. She's going to look so cute. That's one of her Christmas gifts. And the little tutu got Barbie's face imprinted. So I know. So I made sure I got a size 5. Even though she wear a 3T, I got a 5T so she can get it next year and the year after. I want her to wear it 2 years. So I hope, because she's tall. She's tall. My daughter is tall and her dad is tall. So she might be a giant child. I got her I got her a Barbie. I know I got her a Mickey Mouse bowl and plate. And the plate has, it's a round plate, Mickey Mouse plate with ears on it. So she could put her meat and her 2 vegetables in the ears. And it's got the fork and the spoon. I was like, oh my gosh, she is going to love it. I got her a Mickey Mouse chair, and I got her a Mickey Mouse let out, a Minnie Mouse, not Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. I got her a Minnie Mouse let out sofa. So when she looking at her cartoons, she could let her sofa out and lay and look at her cartoons or color. I got to get her a coloring book so she can color. She can lay out on her sofa and color. And I need to get her some educational books so she could start tracing how to correctly write her alphabets and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I need to keep it at my house. I need to keep it at my house, but I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna go send it home because knowing her mama, she well, mama, her stuff over there. She made us. You need to keep it this day, that day. I told my daughter, I was like, I want her to spend the night with me, and before I could say it good, she's like, okay, mama. I said, ain't this some shit? I had not even finished saying it. I know. She's gonna look so cute. I'm gonna make sure of that. I think next year, I think for her birthday present, I'm going to give her a themed Barbie party. No, because you have to keep them liking Barbie dolls and stuff. You got to keep them like wanting to be kids. Now watch like tomorrow when she see that it's daylight, and then she look outside my window, and then she see like the people. She's so grown. She'll look out outside my patio, and then she'll see the people over at the doggy park, and then she say, "Gigi, doggy, doggy," and she start pointing at the doggy park. So that means she wanna put the dogs on their leash and stuff, and go over there to the doggy park and let the dogs play at the doggy park. But I think I'm just gonna put all of them in the stroller because I got my puppies a stroller. So I'm gonna put all of them in the stroller, child, and push them all and just exercise. They got the real big stroller that holds. Hey, what's up? On live. Why? What's up? What's going on? Who you said who coming to Butte? Yeah, that would be a good topic. At what point um um I'm trying to think of a way to help you word it. Um or you could say why aren't men taking accountability for their women and children? Mhm. Okay. Okay. All right, bye-bye. That was Godmother. She get ready to come up in a few minutes. And she gonna have a fire live tonight. She said she going live tonight. She gonna have a guest on there. And y'all are going to y'all gonna be familiar with the guest too. He always on social media. He be going viral on social media. So she had been said she was gonna get a interview with Black Youngster. Black Youngster's probably scared to do an interview with her because he knows she shoot. He might feel more comfortable with her because he probably could, because that's his cousin. He could say, he could tell her, this and that. But then y'all know how she is. She'll forget the script and get to talking about that. Y'all know she gonna forget the script. She liable to ask him. I asked her. I said, do Black youngster be mad at you? Has Black youngster ever said anything to you when he see you? It's like, no, she said, every time he see me, he be like, cuz, I love you, cuz. She said, he know better. He don't wanna tangle with me. But she's old enough to be his mother, so he ain't gonna say nothing to her. Mm-hmm. I tell you. I yeah. I was thinking my mother grandbaby. I probably need to go to the grocery store before she comes to my house tomorrow. But I thought about I want to go to the grocery store when she's at my house because she know how to tell me what she wants, so she could tell me the kind of cereal she likes. She'll point them out. Yeah, I'm waiting on Godmother. She says she's gonna come up tonight. Mine is 7, and I let him be a kid as long as. Yeah, it's good to let kids be kids. You could teach them about life and stuff. Tell them right from wrong and all of that. Experience is the best teacher, but I think people are just letting kids loose. Me personally, when parents tell their kids they got to move out at 18, I just don't think that's a good idea. You know what I mean? Like, I could never have just released my child to a whole big world at 18. Like, they're so young. Like, 18. Thank you, the Black Barbie, for being a member for 27 months and counting. I think 18 is just too young, it's just too young. And you have all these experienced jokers out there that just be waiting to take advantage of young kids. That's why I kind of bucked against my girls going out of town to college. Sometimes I regret it. But my daughter, she wasn't even really out of town. She was in another little city in Tennessee, and then she met that African, okay, and it was not good. It wasn't good. She was inexperienced. Um he said that he was 24, but why in the hell he all on a damn campus with his old ass around kids and stuff that's 17, 18, 19 with his old ass. And when I saw him, I told my mama, I said he's not 24. They lies about their age. I said he's 30 something with his mannerism, just with his look. And he was tall and dark and good looking. Okay. He was a good looking African. But he just with his mannerism, I knew he was not 24. And shoot, she went crazy. I don't know what he was doing to her, but she's ooh child. I had to go ahead and knock some sense back into her. So he used to always, they don't like for women to, their culture is a lot different, okay, as it relates to women. But he had a crazy mama. He wanted to tangle with me. He thought he wanted to tangle with me. That's what he thought. He thought he wanted to tangle with me. And I think they got, because he was from the Memphis area. And his family lived at Mill Branch and Rains in those apartments, child. And so anyways, I told my mama, I said, noodles is something different about my noodles. My mama don't never want to see the bad in the no. I think she's stressed out because she was just studying hard and stuff. I said, no, it's something wrong. I know my child, and I said, and they're African doing it. Well, you can't be like that now. You can't be like that. You just automatically be thinking the worst. That's how my mama is. You can't be like that now. You just can't be like that now. You letting the devil use you. And I tells my mama that to this day. I said I could have got in the mess way before I was listening to my mama talking me down. And then um and then the mess hit the fan. Okay. And I said I knew something was going on. And I went to get her. I said, you coming home. And she said, Mama, you just run my life. You try to run my life. I said, you come home. So he calls me. His name was Alfalfa. That was his name. So if y'all daughters dating in Alfalfa, that's his name, Alfalfa. Okay. Like Buckwheat in them. Okay. Alfalfa. He he wanted to tangle with me. Okay. He wanted to challenge me. He wanted to challenge me. He didn't know. He had been having conversations with my mama. And my mama was like, well, I was talking to him because, you don't want to lose him. She was so in love with him. You have to keep a line of communication open. I said, the devil is a lie. I ain't being nice to nobody. That's my child. I ain't kissing up to him. He gon' I, y'all, I'm having a relapse. I'm telling y'all. I said, I wish, ooh, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I don't be wanting to get vulgar and stuff. Okay, I have flashbacks about what that damn man did, and so he threatened me. He told me I had not raised her right because I sheltered her, and he told me if you had been a good mama, you would have let her get some experience. And what he said, if I cussed that man, I cussed that African out so bad. Then he threatened me. He said, he told me, I tell you what, because he knew he had her mind, but that's all right. That she was gonna get some act right. Okay. And so he said, I tell you what, I'll marry her. I marry her. You have no control. I said, you say you're gonna marry my child? I married her. You have no control then. I said, okay. I said, all right. I asked her, I said, what is Alfalfa family in them? All his family live over there in them apartments. Yeah, mama, don't do nothing. I said, I ain't gonna do a word. I'm going to God. Okay. And so she y'all, her mind was gone. She was, mommy, he said he wanna marry me. I said, girl, is you crazy? He probably ain't legal. Ooh, I don't know, Lord, I don't know what had got into that girl. I don't know what he did to her. And but I fought though. And so she next thing I know, mama, I don't want to be a nurse no more. I said, why not? Alfalfa said that such and such and such. I said, oh, hell no. You ain't going to come in my damn face and tell me you don't want to be a nurse and you going to school to be a nurse? And you going to tell me you don't want to be a nurse because of something Alfalfa said? I was mad as hell. So when he got to talking about he was going to marry her, I said, okay. I said, okay. I said, I tell you what, Alfalfa, you do that because she grown. And it was funny to him to torment me. I said, you go ahead and you do that. You go ahead and y'all go on to get y'all's licenses and get married, okay? I said, but ain't nobody gonna be there because I ain't coming, and your family ain't gonna be there. My mama, my grandmama, they support me. They different than you. I said they ain't gonna be there because they're gonna be on their boat. They got to go. They can't live in the United States because they illegal. So you got a choice. You gonna marry my daughter and your folks go back to Africa, or you might as well just leave her alone. He put off at the damn doorstep, okay? He knew I wasn't playing with him because I had gotten ice. I had called my friends over there ice and everything. I was not playing with him. I wasn't playing with him. That was a low down African. I'm not saying half of the shit that he did, y'all. Anybody would have fought for their child. But anyways, they moved from over there, child. I don't know where they at. My daughter said she think he fled to Minnesota or something. But I wasn't playing with him. Let him marry somebody's daughter in Minnesota. He wasn't gonna marry mine. Okay. And she went, Mommy, yeah. I said, girl, please be quiet. Hell, I helped you out. Hey, Dialogue, how are you? I tell you, like that girl had me so stressed out dealing with that man because he had a different type of energy. He did. He had like a really like a he his energy was more so he wanted to prove to me because their culture is different. I'm the man, and what I say go. I don't give a damn about you being her mama. I'm gonna show you. And so I called her dad. I said, Noodles is dating a guy. He has a different culture, and you know, the culture is different, and it's some things going on with that. I really think you need to talk to your daughter. And this is why I hate her daddy to this day too. With his no good, stupid ass. He gonna say, well, baby, well, his old ass, he was too old for me. Well, baby, if it might be the best thing for he older and he want to take care of. I said, you a old, stupid, old, ignorant, crazy, dumb. Oh, I cussed him out so bad it was ridiculous. I said, you so damn old for me with your old, stupid ass hair. She says, I'm coming in the middle of this story. He was from I forget what part of Africa he was from. I forget what part of Africa. I think my daughter said he in Minnesota. Either that or she might be telling me a story. I ain't gonna do nothing to him. I ain't studying him. He gone on. Let him be with somebody else's daughter, child. Let him use them to get legal. Anyways. My daughter had a bitch that was putting hands on her and almost kicked her out of a window. I was going to run that B over. I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. I don't play about them. I never played about them girls. I promise you. I never played about my girls. My youngest daughter dating a guy now. He's a hard worker. He is. He's a hard worker. Um, they live down there in Millis, and he's Hispanic. I told her I don't want her dating him because when I looked up their house, they got a house way back there in the woods in Millington. I don't like that. Okay, because if she get to screaming, ain't nobody gonna hear her. Okay, I don't know who would want to live back there unless if they is something wrong. So I told her, I said, Brazy, I don't like that. I don't like that they live back there in the damn woods. Okay, got all the culture talking, still be scamming, shaking my head. Who got the culture talk dialogue? He said they got the Millington. That sounds like Woodstock when they start having. No, it's Millington. It's definitely Millington, and it's a lot of Hispanics that live down in Millington. You said, and still, who be scamming? Yeah, it's a they live down there. See the thing, I don't have any issues with interracial relationships and stuff, but when you dealing with culture, when you're dealing with different cultures, you have to you have to when you're dealing with I would say when you're dealing with different races, you have to know the culture. Like how were they raised? Like how were their women raised? Um Stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about? Like, but see, my baby girl is just like my mother. She's very quiet and she's not confrontational. She ain't nothing like me. She ain't nothing like me and her sister. Okay. I'm very emotional and she's just like her daddy too though. Her daddy is very quiet and sneaky. She's not sneaky. She just got a lot of his characteristics. She's just real quiet and she's secretive about stuff and I don't like that. I want her to tell me everything. So I'll know what's going on. So I'll know what to do. Them Africans be trying to stand on business about their culture and be scamming. It's be scamming, especially in Memphis. Oh, that particular one, he called himself was going to get me. I was the. He told me my 18-year-old, 19-year-old daughter. He told me I was out of line. He told me I was out of line to get in to what they had going on. But I mean, I don't know what parents would see their children in something that's not good for them and not get involved. I'm one of those ones that do. I am. And I gets real vulgar too. He told me one time, oh my God, I cussed him out so bad. He was like, yeah, when he married her, he was talking about he had the paperwork and what he said that for. I was so freaking mad. I said so. Ooh, I talked about him so bad. I was like, no, I got the original paperwork. I got the birth certificate. That don't change. That's mine. Because they be looking at women as and other cultures do too, because you got some of these damn African American men that do what they no good asses. Not you, dialogue. I'm talking about some of them. Okay, trying to look at women as their property and stuff. Child, please. Instead of just loving and cherishing their women. What men have to understand is women are not complicated. All you got to do is make us feel secure. But for some reason, I think that men are being taught to use women, look at them as dogs, use them, stress them out, dog them out, and they're able to get away with it because women allow it. He says he's out of line. He and married your daughter. The hell? What was his dowry for the family? His family, his grandma, his mama, and them were around, child. Okay, they were around. I don't think they really wanted. I mean, like I told my daughter, I don't think he was legal. But I don't really think that his family would have wanted for him to marry an African American girl. An African girl, but not an African American girl. But I mean, of course they'll go along with it for him to be legal. He used to tell me, I'm legal. Uh, uh, don't get me started. Your mama and them wasn't. Um, so and the truth of the matter is, I would have wanted for his family um to be in the United States and live life abundantly. Like I don't have issues. Like when people talk about, they want, like you got immigration running, sending people, um, I guess back um, to Mexico or wherever they sending them to. I don't think that's right. Because I'm gonna tell you something. And the Africans need to work hard because you have so many Africans and so many Hispanics and stuff that come into the United States and they work so hard. They do, they work so hard and they're starting businesses. And I mean, I look at their work ethic, I'm like, damn, they get over here and they will work all night if they have to when they're trying to build something. And before you know it, like they make so much money, they become millionaires, and then they'll sell their business to their brother. Their brother, become, make his money, and then they just pass. They get all of that money and stuff. A lot of times after they do that, they go back to their country. They want to, or go to another Spanish country because they've made the money. Why aren't the people in the United States working their hard? Anything worth having, you got to work hard for. That's just it. You're not going to be able to get it unless you work hard. And it's something about the work ethic that it's just subpar, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And then I understand too, I'm not trying to be hard on people, but I understand that sometimes people just don't know how to do stuff. They want to do it, they just don't know how to do it. And so I think we got to get better about showing people like this is what is available to you. And you got to go through this training. You got to go through this training. You got to go through that training. Once you go through these steps, this is available to you. So those are the things that we have to do. We got to, that's what we got to do. Child, I just got a package. My fruity bar. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this package outside my door. Hold on. Okay, I guess the mailman ran late. Hold on, y'all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. He says, now, Tam, they don't work no harder than black folks. They are allowed to thrive via DACA programs and other. Oh, well, tell me something then. That's what's going on. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Mm, mm, mm. Well, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see something. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I know y'all can hear the paper and stuff, can't it? Yes, indeed. I got the wrapping paper and stuff out. Like the majority of my stuff has arrived, and I've been wrapping and stuff like that. And these dogs get on my nerve because they jumping on top of. I got my boxes sitting next to me. Um, it says Trump cut all those DACA programs and set aside. That's why a lot of foreign folks are quiet this year. Plus, it's your paper aren't right. You're getting deported. Says the farmers is at our people right now because they won't come and help with their farm. They are upset with us. Hey, Miss Sherry. Oh wow. I wish I could be a farmer. I know I don't have the patience to do it other than having a small garden. Other than having a small little garden, like so that I can grow greens, tomatoes. Said greens, tomatoes, peppers, sweet potatoes. They call yams because my grandmother grew yams too, sweet potatoes. But she grew some hot peppers. They were long and they would be good. She would chop them up and put them in spaghetti sometime. Um, yeah, those were the good old days when my grandma used to go say, "Go on the side of the house and get me a bell pepper," because she had grown the bell peppers, or they would grow cucumbers sometimes. The tomatoes. Hey, Anissa, the squirrels used to like to eat the tomatoes up. They would eat a hole in the tomatoes. So the squirrels wouldn't let the tomatoes be great. But she used to make those fried green tomatoes. They would be so good. hmm The squirrels used to be happy when she planted those tomatoes. Yeah, but she loved to plant greens more than anything. I think people got to learn how to survive. Survival mode is knowing how to grow your own food and stuff. Yeah, that's what you got to do. That's exactly what you got to do. Happy birthday, Anissa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Anissa. Move. Happy birthday to you. Number 58. Wow. That's a good number. You know what? I think Hollywood and made people think that it was just bad to start getting older. I think it's a blessing when you get older. It is such a blessing. It is. It's such a blessing when you can get older. Yes, indeed. With age, supposed to come wisdom. Wisdom is supposed to come with age. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. I might go get my toes done tomorrow. I'm mainly wearing, like, when I want to wear nails, press-ons. The press-ons are so cute, but I like getting my toes done. So I might get my toes done and get my grandbaby nails done. Just get her nails polished if she'll sit there. Child, I'm trying to turn into a diva early. Lord, thank you. Mm. Y'all know I was sitting like today, like at the end of the day when I finished um being out in the field. I pulled back in the garage and I was sitting in the car at work for a few minutes. And I was thinking about it, and God had put into my mind, like, anything and everything that you want is in arm's reach if you really want it. And so I think we have our minds and stuff so caught up on worrying about what's going on around us, like worrying about what other people think or how they feel about us and all of that. Um, he said, "Nah, it's bad for white women to get older. Black women still bomb in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. But anything you want is in arm's reach, you know? Just always remember that all you got to do is decide that you want it and you're willing to work for it. That's why I love that scripture that says faith without works is dead, because it is. We can think something, but if you ain't willing to put in the work, if you're not willing to put in the work, it's asinine. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hold on, you all. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Hey, I know I'm late, but did you talk about the case where the woman was on? Oh, that's something I said I was going to talk about. I haven't. That's something that I'll make sure that I talk about tomorrow or Sunday when my grandbaby goes home. We'll talk about this Sunday evening or something like that. Cause by that time we get home from church, I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna have my mama waiting in the damn parking lot to get her in the driveway. Come on, be there, meet me there, or I'm gonna take her home. We'll talk about it Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening after church. Because I didn't watch it, but I went back, and that was definitely interesting. I hate that I didn't follow that case like I should have. That's something we can talk about. Um, if you all know of like any like um missing persons cases that you all think would be interesting, like cold cases, um, that's something I started out doing when I started coming on in 2013, and I got burned out, and that's something I'm gonna get back into doing. So if y'all like know of any that you all think would be interesting, um, send me their names and stuff, and we'll do a show on it. I'll reach out to their families and stuff. Oh, excuse me, because that's where my heart is, especially if it's missing children. Because I think together we all got to tackle this, and bring exposure to these children that are being snatched up and going missing, stuff like that. Yes, indeed. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off of here because I got some more things that I gotta do. Um, the godmother, y'all, godmother is coming on at 7. So I'm gonna be over there. She's gonna send me the link. And so when godmother comes on at 7, um, Dr. Pearson, Dr. Cheryl Lamont, was her last name Pearson? Yeah, yeah. She, whoever it was, she knew her. Let's hold on. Let's hold on. Let me show y'all this. I think uh God has shined on me. He's been good. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I know I can't sing, so don't even tell me I can't. Because I cannot. I'm trying to see. Uh, I don't know how to get to it. Y'all, just from looking at that video, who do you all think? It's a short video. What y'all think happened to her? Hold on. High school, Cheryl went on to Tennessee State University, majoring in engineering. And after graduating college, she went on to Meharry Medical School and graduated at the top of her class. Cheryl moved to Memphis, Tennessee in the late 90s to practice medicine. Cheryl's family spoke about how she loved being a pediatrician and became a well respected pediatrician very quickly. Friends and family stated that Cheryl was a very happy person and they never knew Cheryl to have an enemy. Cheryl was the daughter of Leon and Hazel Pearson. She was the youngest of 3 siblings. Both of Cheryl's parents were educators. Cheryl was always very accomplished and even played basketball in high school. January 4th, 2002 was a normal day for Cheryl Pearson. Because of her love for basketball, she was a season ticket holder for the Memphis Grizzlies. In 2002, the home of the Memphis Grizzlies was at the downtown Pyramid, which is now the Bass Pro Shop. Reports are that Cheryl attended the game alone, something that she always did. While at the game, Cheryl was in contact with her family members via cell phone. Cheryl's mother stated that when she spoke with Cheryl, she was still at the basketball game. Her mother also stated
Period.
that Cheryl said to her that she was not feeling well. She told her mom that she was feeling a little lightheaded and may leave the game early. Although she wasn't feeling well, she decided to stay until the end of the game. You see, Cheryl was a severe diabetic and had been since early childhood. According to reports, after the game, Cheryl headed home to her house on Daybreak Drive at around 10:30 p.m. Cheryl's home was located in Bartlett, Tennessee, a suburban area on the outskirts of Memphis. Shortly after arriving to her home, two of Cheryl's friends stopped by for a visit. The three women chatted until about 1 a.m. in the morning. Cheryl then told her friends that she needed to go to bed because she was going to be watching her sister's children the next morning. Her friends then left, and that would be the last time that they would see Dr. Cheryl Lamont Pearson. Cheryl's sister, Lorinda Hildred, arrived at Cheryl's home around 7 a.m. with her children, and her children were so excited to be spending time with their aunt. Lorinda was alarmed when Cheryl didn't answer the door. It was completely out of Cheryl's character to forget that she was supposed to watch her nieces and nephews. Lorinda started to look around Cheryl's property and realized that her car wasn't there. This was very troubling because Cheryl was an insulin dependent diabetic. Lorinda feared that Cheryl may have passed out and had a wreck while driving. She immediately called the Bartlett, Tennessee Police Department and reported her 37-year-old sister
Hey,
missing.
Patricia.
Bartlett police immediately knew that they was dealing with something more sinister. Cheryl was a well-respected pediatrician and would never go missing voluntarily. The mere fact that she was a chronic diabetic made the situation even more urgent. When Leon and Hazel Pearson learned that their daughter Cheryl was missing, they immediately left their home in Jackson, Tennessee, and headed to Cheryl's house. They used their own set of keys to get into her home. Although they saw nothing to indicate that any kind of struggle had taken place, they did find Cheryl's mobile phone and her pager sitting on her dining room table. Cheryl was on call that weekend, and it would have been highly unusual for her to go anywhere without taking her phone and her pager in case a patient needed her. After searching her home more, they found something even more disturbing. Cheryl had left her insulin and all of her diabetic supplies behind, something she never would have done unless she expected to be gone only for a short amount of time. Cheryl's mother, Hazel, became immediately upset and concerned about her daughter's health. Cheryl had called her while she was watching the Grizzlies game and complained that she was feeling weak and lightheaded. Although Cheryl appeared to be fine when her friends saw her later that night, it was possible that she had been experiencing fluctuations in her blood sugar that led her to become disoriented, and it had her mother especially concerned. When the other doctors and colleagues from Cheryl's medical practice learned that she was missing, they quickly rushed to aid in the search effort. They had flyers printed up and spent the weekend distributing them throughout the area. They asked each person they encountered to be on the lookout for Cheryl and her blue Audi. They also started a reward fund offering $10,000 for information leading to Cheryl's safe return. Detectives was able to access Cheryl's phone records and saw that someone had called her at around 1:58 a.m. Saturday morning, about an hour after her friends had left her home. The call had been made from a Citgo gas station just a few minutes away from her home and had lasted for only a few seconds after Cheryl answered. Although they had no idea who had placed the phone call, investigators believed it was possible that Cheryl had voluntarily left her home shortly after getting the call, then ran into foul play while out. The weekend passed and not a word from Cheryl. Her parents and family was deeply concerned. The first potential break in the case came around 7 a.m. Monday morning when Cheryl's car was found. The blue Audi had been left in the parking lot of a nearby apartment complex on Egypt Central Road. Detectives was unable to determine how long the car had been sitting there. Crime scene technicians thoroughly processed the Audi, hoping to find some kind of clue that would point to Cheryl's whereabouts. It didn't appear that anything was missing from the car. Cheryl's medical bag, which contained her car keys and $140 in cash, was found locked in the trunk. Whoever had driven the car last had apparently scrubbed it clean
Hey,
before leaving
Patricia.
it in the parking lot, as technicians were unable to find a single fingerprint to include Cheryl's. Detectives got hard at
They
work
wiped the car
to
down.
interview everyone that had been a part of Cheryl's life, hoping that one of them might hold the key to solving the mystery of her disappearance. Friends noted that Cheryl had seemed completely normal in the hours before she went missing. They had not seen anything to indicate Cheryl had been frightened or upset. She had mentioned that she needed to get up early to watch her sister's children, but that's it. She had also mentioned to her friends how excited she was to get to spend time with her nieces and nephews. Other doctors and colleagues of Cheryl's told detectives that Cheryl had not been having any problems in her professional life. She had a reputation for being an excellent doctor who truly cared about her patients. As police detectives continued the process of interviewing Cheryl's friends and family, they realized that at least one person that she had an association with had a less than pristine criminal record. Her brother in law, Charles Hildreth, had been arrested for armed robbery and was out on bail during the time of Cheryl's disappearance. Although there was no evidence to prove that he was in any way involved in Cheryl's disappearance, detectives became very suspicious when they learned that his wife, Lorinda, which is Cheryl's sister, had been named the beneficiary of Cheryl's $150,000 life insurance policy. Detectives never gave an indication that they suspected Lorinda, her sister, of being involved in her disappearance, but they interrogated her sister's husband, Charles, on several different occasions. Although he had an alibi for the night of his sister in law's disappearance, detectives admitted that they were entirely uncomfortable with his inconsistencies in his stories. Despite this, Charles has never been named as a suspect in Cheryl's disappearance, and her parents do not believe that he had anything to do with it. Through the years, investigators have conducted several physical searches for Cheryl, but have never been able to come up with any evidence as to what might have happened to her. The person who called Cheryl's house at 1:58 a.m. that morning has never been identified. Although detectives believe that the phone call was somehow linked to Cheryl's disappearance, they just cannot prove it. They still have no idea if Cheryl left her home voluntarily that morning or if she was taken from her home by someone. It's possible that the mystery caller somehow lured her out of her house. It's also possible that it was someone calling to see if she was at home. Eventually, after many years of being missing, Cheryl's parents made the painful decision to have her declared legally dead. Several years back, I became interested in Cheryl's cold case myself. I reached out to her mom in Jackson, Tennessee, and identified myself as a private investigator that works with other teams of PIs on cold cases. I told her that I had come across Cheryl's cold case and would love to reignite the flame in her case if she didn't mind. To my surprise, her mother seemed to become upset on the other end of the phone and said, I do mind. As I started to speak with her about why I wanted to reignite the flames in this case, she suddenly started to speak to me about how she had grandchildren and she wanted to protect them. She stated no matter what happened, it couldn't bring Cheryl back, and she had to look out for her grandchildren. With her mother started to cry on the other end of the phone when I told her that I had met Cheryl once when I had taken my youngest daughter to the pediatrician and how friendly she was and very sweet. Her mother stated that Cheryl had loved her job so much and that she had loved children. She went on to state how Cheryl's disappearance had taken a toll on her father's health. And at this point, she just wanted to protect her grandchildren. I ended the conversation with, I respect how you feel, and you all are in my prayers. Detectives believe that there are people in the community who knows exactly what has happened to Cheryl. And they hope they will come forward with this information so that Cheryl's family can have peace and give her a proper burial. If anyone knows what has happened to Dr. Cheryl Lamont Pearson, please contact the Bartlett Police Department. Let's help to bring Cheryl home and to give her family peace. I don't know why I got teary eyed. I think about like what the families and stuff go through. And when I did call her mother, I remember when I called her mom, I was sitting at work at the sheriff's office. I was still working for the sheriff's office. And I had gotten her number. I found her number and I called her. And I told her, I wanted to reignite the flame and I wanted to air it and all of that. And at that time, Cheryl's father was still alive, and she was saying that he was constantly having heart attacks and stuff. That particular thing had taken a toll on him, and she needed to spare her husband and she wanted to spare her grandchildren. She said, at this point, I miss my daughter. Whatever has happened, it's not going to bring her back. She said, but you got to understand, I got to look out for my grandkids now. When she said that, I knew she knew. I mean, she knows something. She has an inkling of something. She said, I got grandkids and I got to protect them. So those were her words verbatim. She said, it's not going to bring her back. She ain't coming back. She said, I got grandkids and I got to protect them. I got to protect my grandkids at all costs. So I I didn't even think about doing a story on it until later. I know her father has passed away. I think her mother is still alive. I don't know, you know, but I know the father has passed away. I think the sister went on to get her doctorate's degree of psychology or whatever. Cheryl was always the overachiever, and her Cheryl had a lot of policies, and she didn't have children, but she was so fond of her nieces and nephews. Actually, all of those policies were in the name was willed to her nieces and nephews, and it was like way more than 150,000. But that's what they had initially said when I actually did that story. Um, you know, I think they've always felt like the I mean, I think back when this happened, if Memphis police would have had the case back then, I think the case would have been solved. But Bartlett police has had the case, and Bartlett is a small city that's not used to anything like this. Hey, Callie, Sunshine, cases like this, I just think they didn't know how to do it. But I think when the mother says, I got to protect my grandchildren, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to, at this point, I don't want to know. She's already been declared dead. I don't want anybody digging into it. I need to protect my grandkids. I knew at that point she knew something. She knew something. Because the only thing I could think about is the man that her daughter married, her grandkids was in the house with him. Okay. And so he was able to, he did real well after that. He went and the sister invested in him a lot of clubs. I think right now they own that comedy club. He does. He's part owner. So after Cheryl died and they got their insurance money, he made a lot of investments in houses and properties and stuff like that. Okay. So I digress. Anyways. But he's never been charged. I'm not saying that he's involved. Okay. Oh, well. Anyways, y'all. That was a sad story right there. It is. It really is sad. Um, hold on. See, I like doing the short stories now. This little girl right here is still missing. Um, this is the man that Miami allowed to get away with murder. Trakita Scott, a young mother of two, was only 24 years old when she went missing from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on June 25th, 2014. Trakita was supposed to pick up her then 2-year-old son, CJ, a son that she shared with Carl Watts, and the 4-year-old daughter, Monet, from a previous relationship from daycare, but never showed up and hasn't been seen since. Trakita's mom stated that she had left work early to meet her son's father, Carl Watts Jr., to pick up money for their son and was never seen again. A few years back, I had the opportunity to interview Trakita Scott's mother on the Real Talk with Tamara TV show. With deep emotions, she gave an account of what happened the last time that she spoke with her daughter.
On the day in question, she ran me around on some errands, and she told me she was going home because she had a headache. She was going to take a nap before she picked up her kids from school. And at around 5:30, I started calling her phone, and she didn't answer. And I called her like 23 times, and there was no answer, and my heart sank. So I then called.
Oh, but this story is very interesting.
And
That's her son.
Boyfriend at the time, and he said,
and her mother.
The last time he got a text from her was at 4 o'clock, and that was as soon as she left me. So at 6:20, he called me back and stated that the daycare called Trakita didn't pick up the kid.
You knew something was wrong when the daycare called. You knew something was wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow. How exactly did her boyfriend sound when you called him? Did he sound fearful or nonchalant or what?
No, he sounded fear. He sounded like he had some variation in his voice. And he told me he was gonna call me as soon as he got up there to the house because they also lived up there in Broward. So once he got there and searched the house, he seen that she hadn't even come to the house. And he called me, and I mean, I immediately asked him for her ex-boyfriend's phone number.
Now, this ex-boyfriend, is he the father of her children?
He's the father of the second child, the little boy. And she had left him. It had been like 4 months since she had left him. He was continuously harassing her and calling her phone and going to her job and following her everywhere, but she didn't tell us that this was going on.
Wow. So why did Trakita end what is the name of her ex-boyfriend?
Carl Watts.
Now, why did Trakita end her relationship with Carl Watts?
She stated she was just tired of working 2 jobs and paying all the bills, and he wasn't doing anything like legally to help them financially. This is what she told us. Which later we found out something totally different. But
okay, and what did you find out later?
That he was abusing her, and this is why she would come around us with long sleeve clothes on when it was hot.
Oh, wow. And how long has she been in this relationship with this man?
On and off, 2 to 3 years. Each time we convinced her to leave him, his mom would convince her to stay.
His mother would do what?
Convince her to stay.
Wow. So when Trakita went missing, and when you called him, what did he say?
He wasn't answering it at first, and then he answered an hour later, and he
So what did you do after he did that?
We called the Fort Lauderdale Police Department immediately. They went and searched the residence of the address they had on file, but they couldn't locate him. And then the following day, we reached out to the media.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So when you all reached out to the media, did they immediately start to cover this situation?
The media did, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the media did.
So the last time that you spoke with Chiquita, did she seem like that? You know, she was unhappy about anything. Did she seem how was she?
The last day I told my daughter, she wasn't acting like herself. She was acting like she was scared of something.
Mm-hmm.
I kept telling her, because her car had no AC, she can take my car, or she can speak here. But she kept saying she needed to go home because of the kids' school.
Mm-hmm.
Where she wasn't acting anything like herself.
So you stated that after she broke up with Carl, his name is Carl Watts, right?
Yes, ma'am.
After she broke up with him, he started to follow her, you know, and her to come up to her job. He was basically stalking her, even though she had moved on and had a new relationship. What did her employers do about this with him consistently coming up there harassing her?
But actually, the manager had put a restraining order on him for Chiquita. Was still talking to him like she was terrified of him or something. And I would constantly tell him, my father told her, do not go around him by yourself. She thinks you won't hurt me, Mama. I haven't been.
So she thought that even though he had been physically abusive, she felt like so many other women, he wouldn't kill her because she had his son. Because Chiquita's mom was so adamant about finding out what happened to Chiquita and was vocal about the fact that she felt that Carl Watts knew something about her disappearance, she stated that his family seemingly started trying to intimidate her. His mother, have you spoken with his mother, with the young man's mother?
None of his family. I haven't spoken to anyone at all. We all talked us riding around by our house and stuff and like laughing because I know that her family has something to do about me disappearing.
Mm-hmm. Although many feel that the Fort Lauderdale, Florida Police Department did not take Chiquita's missing persons report seriously, her mother definitely had a reason to be concerned. You see, Chiquita was not the first lady in Carl Watts' life to go missing, and she definitely would not be the last. You see, in 2009, 5 years prior to Chiquita Scott going missing, another one of Carl Watts' ex-girlfriends would be stricken with tragedy. Vicki Simmons was just 26 years old at the time when she was found dead at a hotel in Northeast Miami. Vicky's sister, LaShawn, stated that Carl Watts showed up at her house one day asking if she'd seen her sister. She stated that she knew something was wrong because her sister, Vicky, and Carl Watts was living together at the time. Shortly after, her sister was found dead at the hotel.
But from this day forward, I'm going to keep my sister name alive. Like, I have to.
LaShawn Jones holds onto the memories of her sister, Vicki Simmons. Simmons at the time was just 26 years old and murdered in Northeast Miami-Dade back in February of 2009. The case would go cold.
I think like 13 years, but it's like now I feel like this is the time.
Now,
fast forward to 2014, Chiquita Scott goes missing under suspicious circumstances. When Vicki Simmons' family found out that she was connected to Carl Watts, they immediately got in contact with Chiquita's mom to speak with her about what had happened to Vicki years prior. Chiquita's mom made many efforts to get answers by going to the media and making a plea for help. with Chiquita's two small babies there with her.
The family of a missing mother from Broward County pleading with the public, looking for any information that might lead to her return. Local 10 News reporter Leah Motorhome just heard from them and has the rest of the story.
At this point, Fort Lauderdale police are considering this a missing endangered persons case. And neither police nor the family of Chiquita Scott know exactly what happened to her or where she is, but hoping that you do.
It's going on 3 months since I've last saw my baby.
Things still aren't getting any easier for Chiquita Scott's mother or the rest of her family. 77 days after she was last seen and still no new leads, no idea as to where she might be. But they do have a hunch.
We believe we know who's involved, but we need your help.
From the start, they have suspected that her ex, Carl Watts, may know more than he's letting on.
I believe he has some connection with her disappearance.
His lack of cooperation has made the detectives feel it's extremely suspicious in nature. However, his behavior does not warrant him to be called a person of interest or a suspect at this time.
What police do know is that Chiquita was last heard from June 25th when she failed to pick up her kids from school.
Chiquita would never leave her kids in school.
Before that, she was captured on camera at the U-Haul office in West Park where she worked. Nearly a week after she disappeared, her car was found abandoned in Liberty City. Meanwhile, the trail for new leads has gone cold, and her family and young children are suffering.
They have nightmares, crying.
While 3-year-old Monet and 1-year-old CJ may not know the severity of the situation, what they do know is that they miss their mother and don't want to see their grandmother sad.
Mama, don't cry.
We just need answers. These kids just need their mother.
Despite Chiquita's family's many efforts to find out what happened to her, Chiquita was never seen again after going to meet Carl Watts, and her case went cold. Carl Watts Jr. was no stranger to being on the other side of the law. Watts had an extensive criminal history in Miami-Dade County stretching back to 1995, which included multiple charges of kidnapping, robbery, grand theft, drug-related offenses, battery, prostitution, assault, and illegal gambling, just to name a few. The same year that Chiquita went missing, Carl Watts was captured on video at a bus stop trying to kidnap a 16-year-old girl. Fortunately, the 16-year-old girl got away. Carl was arrested, booked, and made bond. Then, in April of 2022, there would be more tragedy.
A man accused of shooting and killing his wife, waking up behind bars today. Carl Watts Jr. is set to face a judge later today. He is charged with murder. Police say the 45-year-old stabbed his wife several times on Saturday, the next day while she was at swimming class for her daughter inside the Jewish Community Center. Watts approached her again. Investigators say he offered her money to drop the charge for the stabbing, and when she refused, he reportedly pulled out a gun and shot her until he ran out of bullets. Officers managed to track him down and arrest him shortly after.
Carl Watts would strike again, killing his wife, Shondell Harris. This time, he will get his day in court.
A man accused of killing his wife at a Jewish community center yesterday, appearing in front of a judge today. Tonight, we're learning more about the suspect, 45-year-old Carl Watts Jr., who's also being directly linked to the mysterious disappearance of his former girlfriend. CBS 4's Ashley Dyer is live from the community center in Northeast Miami-Dade with more tonight. Ashley?
Lauren, this is just an unimaginable, huge loss for the Shondell Harris family. Police say her husband, Carl Watts, shot her at least 7 times right in front of her daughter while she was in the middle of a swimming lesson.
Miami police say on Saturday, the day before this happened, Watts was reported to police for stabbing Harris. Miami police say they were actively looking for Watts to arrest him for the stabbing, but unfortunately, he got to Harris first. According to a police report, moments before the shots were fired, Watts offered his wife money to drop the charges against him. When she refused, he took out a firearm and shot her until she collapsed. Shondell Harris was just 30 years old. Today, Watts appeared in court, his hands cuffed in front of him. He said nothing as a judge upped the homicide charge he's facing.
He should be poisoned in first degree. He went there to the JCC with a gun Guns aren't allowed in the JCC, and then he shot the victim multiple times.
Watts has an extensive criminal background. He's a person of interest in the mysterious disappearance of Trakita Scott, a Fort Lauderdale woman who shares a child with Watts. And about a month before she went missing, Watts was accused of trying to kidnap a 16-year-old girl from a bus stop. He was arrested, but bonded out of jail. Today, the family of Shondell Harris is left wishing he had been put behind bars years ago.
My cousin, she's humble. She's very quiet. She's a great mother. You know, she didn't deserve this.
Trakita and Shondell's case has many similarities. Trakita's mom spoke about how Carl offered Trakita $10,000 to take him back. When she said no, he stated, "I have money for our son. Can you come and meet me and get it?" Trakita has never been seen again. If Trakita could hear this interview, what would you like to say to your daughter?
We love you. You ask you every day. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I didn't fit inside. I'm sorry, Trakita. I love you very much.
To ensure, what do you think is going to have to happen so that there can be a resolution to this case?
And so that no other family would suffer at the
No
hands of
positive
Carl
vibes. Hey, Carrie.
I'm going to have to fight this fight. I'm going to have to do whatever I have to do to bring justice for my baby girl. If this man gets out, if this man walks the streets of any other woman, it is Lord and by him and his family, they too will be harmed. This is not an if it will happen, it's when it will happen, because he is dangerous.
Her mother said it years. Unfortunately for Shondell Harris, it did happen. And although Carl Watts has been arrested for her murder, Trakita Scott's missing persons case is still cold, and her family would like to know what happened to Trakita. If anyone knows what has happened to Trakita, please call the Fort Lauderdale Police Department. Give Trakita Scott's family and her children some closure. Her family deserves to know what happened to her that day she left work to go meet her child's father, Carl Watts. If anyone knows anything, please come forward and give Trakita Scott's children peace, as well as Trakita Scott, wherever she is. Oh, that's so sad. Her mother is still my Facebook friend, and her mother had to fight for her children because his family, who never had anything to do with the kids, was trying to fight them. His family kept calling, playing games, calling DCS, and had the children taken away from them. They were having to fight, saying that they were abusing the small kids at that time. They was having to fight. They put the kids in foster care for a little while until they could figure out if it was true. They put the family through hell. And all while they were trying to figure out and find out what had happened to their daughter. So, hey, it's sad. It really is. Like I said, I did these cases from 2013 all the way up until the 20, maybe 2001. I got so burned out from doing them because at that time I was coming on right before Thaddeus Matthews. He was coming on every day. I was coming on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. So I just got totally drained to the point on Sundays I just started doing gospel shows. And then hey, I had to take a break, because when you do these types of shows, you put your heart into that. The families are pulling on you. You feel bad for the families and stuff. So But I think I'm ready to start back doing them. I don't know. I won't be maybe once a week because it take a lot of time to do a lot of research and all of that. You have to do. I like to do good research, and I always like to show respect and have the families on to speak about their loved ones. I think it is different when you can. It makes the person, you're able to humanize the person when you can have their loved ones, their blood on, to talk about them, right? To help to spread awareness um, as it relates to their families, to their loved ones, rather. So, y'all, Godmother is over there on. She sent me a link. I'm gonna get off because there's some things that I want to be looking at Godmother while I'm wrapping stuff because I don't want for it to get, because I've ordered quite a bit of stuff. I don't want it to get junky in here. So I'm going to wrap gifts. I'm gonna wrap this stuff up tonight because I don't want it laying around on my couch. Put it in these boxes and wait on the others to come in. Anyways, you guys, I enjoyed you all tonight, as always. Yeah, we have to pray for each other. We have to. The enemy is always lurking to see who they can devour, but we just keep praying for each other, keep being positive, keep lifting each other up. We're not, we can't allow those things to penetrate us, right? We just have to stay prayed up and all those good things, okay? Anyways, you guys, I love you all. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you all later. Go over to Godmother's. Godmother is on, so go over to her show.